You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Your vet sort of very perceptibly picked up on the fact that there was a fracture involving the tibial tuberosity, which is this point right here where the patellar tendon comes down and inserts right on the shin bone. What I've realized over the years, and I've realized because I've gotten burned before, is that when this is disrupted, you got to be real careful that they didn't break the growth plate that's right up here, because those will come off sort of like a hat, if you will. Because there's two growth plates. There's one right here and there's one right here. And you can see just a tiny little stair step on the x-rays, and it's pretty subtle, but it's there. And so I think the fracture actually came up and then comes out through this growth plate back here. And so what we want to do is just sort of gently nudge that forward a little bit and then put a couple of pins basically across the knee. And then you just need to keep him calm and quiet for about 4 weeks after surgery.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you, I know it's hard. You got a puppy, but you got to do your best. It boils down to two things, or at least I'd say I see 90% of the like post-op problems. So like you call me basically like, oh my gosh, my dog's no longer doing really, really well. Because what'll happen is dogs are like 5-year-old kids. They start feeling good, and then they don't think they have any limitations, and you can get lulled in this false sense of security that oh my dog must know the leg's good now, the leg must be good now. Your dog has no idea. It's not a veterinarian. It just starts feeling good, and what'll happen is then you'll let them outside. They won't be on a leash, and they'll see a blade of grass, they'll see a squirrel. I don't know what they'll do. They'll go blasting through the yard, and then you'll call me and be in a panic because the dog's no longer doing well. So I get those panic phone calls 90% of the time because the dog's either jumping on or off furniture, so don't let them jump on off furniture. And then 2, we're outside and we're not on a leash, and they
run.
They run. They chase squirrels, they chase raccoons, they jump onto hot tubs, they jump off hot tubs, they get out of the yard, they go running through the neighborhood. I've had all these phone calls.
Okay.
So just keep him on a leash, and then basically like when he's in the house, like just snuggle him. Like if he's grabbing his ball or his toy to play with it, just don't throw it across the house, trying to discourage that sort of play. And if you do that, he's going to do really well.
Okay.
You are lucky that you have a Yorkie, because I tell all clients that have injuries to the growth plates that we can see what we call angular limb deformities, so alterations in growth of the bone sort of long term because of damage to those growth plates. Your dog's probably not too far off from being full grown though, just because we don't have huge growth potential. So I wouldn't worry too much about this. You should be fine from it. Questions, concerns?
That surgery is the only answer?
Surgery is the only answer.
Okay.
I do believe that. 2, so why don't we cast and splint a lot of things? The bottom line is there are some fractures in veterinary medicine that can be splinted. The thing to remember is when they splint our legs or cast them, they come up over and below each joint above and below the fracture. And in a dog, you can't sort of force them in a position like this, and so it becomes hard to immobilize the legs and lock them at 90 degrees so you don't get any torsional deformity. So that's one of the issues we have. Fractures below the knee or below the elbow sometimes are amenable to fixation. The things involving the joint and things involving growth plates always require surgery because you want to make sure you get them back exactly where they were, so you don't see funny growth basically.
Do you think that you'll need to keep him overnight, or?
I am not set up to keep him overnight on Friday night, so he will definitely go home.
Okay.
I would be ready for him to go home probably between 5 to 6 o'clock.
Okay. Bennett, you heard that?
We'll have some pain meds for you.
I have some from the other vet.
What did they give you?
It was a liquid. What was it called?
Meloxicam or Metacam?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. How much of that do you have?
They just gave me a little bottle with a little dropper.
I'll give you a few more days just to make sure. I usually like to see dogs on that for about a week after surgery, and then we can probably stop it.
They gave me enough for 2 weeks.
Then I probably won't. Let's just continue that.
Okay.
They didn't give me any sedation, did they?
No.
Let's see. I usually send dogs home with a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory like what you have and a sedative. The problem is that your dog's so small, the pills that I have are probably too big because I bet we're about 2 kgs or about 4 to 5 pounds, I bet.
Yeah, they didn't give him any pills just for that reason.
Yeah, that's the problem. We have to get it compounded usually. Maybe. The problem is the dosage on him is a little bit on the higher side. If we get through the weekend and he's just being crazy, then I'd probably try it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd probably just give him the Metacam, keep him comfy.
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns?
I don't think so.
All right. Surgery's gonna be this afternoon. I'll call you as soon as I'm done.
Okay.
He is definitely gonna go mid to later afternoon. I'm not sure whether he's gonna be 2 or 3. I've got an MRI that I gotta go to, so I won't start before probably 1:30 or 2.
Okay. Do you want me to like bring him back, or do you want to keep him here to prep him? Okay.
Yeah.
Can he have his blanket and his toy?
Why don't we do the toy and no blanket?
Okay.
Because that way, if he soils the blanket for some reason, I don't have to worry about you losing it. And then toy, I can get back.
I don't think he will.
I know you don't, but
Okay. Okay.
trust me on this one. Trust me on
All right. You ready? You ready, cute boy?
And he's been
Sit.
he's been otherwise happy,
Sit.
healthy eating, peeing, pooping, drinking normal.
Yeah, he pooped this morning and peed, so.
All
You
right.
sit. Sit.
Can you come with me? Oh, yes. I know, Bubs. All right.
Okay, bye.